What is this metal square?
An assortment of materials and tools used for giving emergency treatment to a sick or injured person. Tools included gloves, safety goggles, gauze, assorted bandages, shears, medical tape, masks.
So this is a kit for healing.
Precisely.
Rather small for such an important function, don't you think?
I concur. Foolish, if you ask me.
Welcome to Between the Joysticks. Press start and then we're off. Nick and John, they've got the sauce. Breaking news and some hot takes. Even if there's some mistakes, Nick is captaining the ship, while John gives thoughts straight from the hip. But when their powers combine, we're all in for a hell of a time. Between the Joysticks, it's the best. Up to 6 things they will address. Tell all your friends and settle in. Between the Joysticks now begins.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 161 of The John Show. Yeah, you heard that right. This show is all about my co-host, John. I am your host, Nick. But John is on a tear lately. He's beating a lot of games, getting a lot of platinums. So why not dedicate an entire episode to our co-host? So let's have some fun. We're going to play a mystery game with him, hear about the 30 games he played since last episode.
You are selling me way too hard.
What?
You're selling me way too hard right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But,
Okay.
But you know,
But
if that's the way you feel about me and think of me, I mean, I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, we'll hear more about it for sure. I think you are on one of the greatest tears I've ever seen as far as you completing video games, getting platinums over such a short period of time.
Just doing things.
Yeah, he's doing things. He's making up for my lack of video games, as we talked about last week.
That's what a good co-host does, you know?
Yep.
Picks you up when you need him to.
Yeah. Can never be on the same page, though.
I know.
All right, but before we get into the episode, we got some TCB, some taking care of business to talk about, because there's 2 things we want from you, the listeners. Next week, we're going to talk about our PlayStation Plus wrap-up. If you primarily play on PlayStation and want to share your PlayStation wrap-up with us, email us betweenthejoysticks@gmail.com. We are interested in your hours played. John does not want to be the top hour played this year, but
Yeah, it seems to be happening.
it's looking pretty good.
Well, and on that note, I do want to share, we have received a PS wrap-up from pal of the show, Nick, and I want to at least share his wrap-up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we have his 2025 wrap-up. 0 games played and your top 0 games shown. So he played his PlayStation for 0 hours this year.
Right.
But he did let me know he has over 1,000 hours on Steam. So if I don't get vindicated through the wrap-up, I'm at least using this asterisk to get rid of some of your shitty comments that you'll give me.
It's a very weak caveat, but we'll allow it. We're also interested in how many platinums you've earned this year, and then your top 5 games played as well. So far, the entries in are really good. We have some listeners that have.
They usually are. They have
games.
been every year we've done this.
And then also next episode is our Game of the Year episode. We are going to go through all of our categories and announce our Game of the Year. But you can also write in, again, that email address betweenthejoysticks@gmail.com with your Game of the Year winners for our categories. And our categories are Best Moment of the Podcast, Best Level, Best Music, Best Indie, Best Weapon, Best Boss Fight, Best Performance, Best Character to Have a Drink With, and Game of the Year. And remember, we kind of do things a little different here. It's a game you played that year. Mm-hmm. John and I, we don't get to play everything, so we've had past winners like Persona 5 Royal and other games like that. I believe Elden Ring was your Game of the Year after the fact.
Yeah, I didn't play that the year it came out.
Yep. So whatever you played this year and you want to talk about or mention because it fits one of these categories, write in. We will happily read that on the show next week. But we're going to move on to a little bit not a little bit, a somber note here. Vince Zampella, video game industry icon, behind the biggest franchises in the world, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, Titanfall, Apex Legends, Star Wars Jedi, and most recently Battlefield 6, passed away this week in a tragic car accident. And I like to celebrate life when someone passes away, and as I mentioned, those franchises. This man is a big deal, and I'm sure with this private buyout of Electronic Arts, he was probably a big piece of that.
100%.
Like if I was buying Electronic Arts, I want Vince Zampella. His track record is phenomenal. I bet the money attached to the games that this guy has made because he made Call of Duty has got to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, we briefly talked yesterday about like if you could tie money to a single developer, the only people I think that could probably compete with this guy would be the Hauser brothers. Like
right.
that's about the only, and then you got weird things like whoever's involved with Genshin and Pokemon and stuff, but like just true
Fortnite,
games, real games. Vince is pretty untouchable.
Yeah, he's had such a long career. He started at Electronic Arts working on Medal of Honor and then left to join Activision to make the Medal of Honor killer, Call of Duty. Boy, he succeeded there. And then do you remember when he got ousted out of Infinity Ward, or was that way before? That might have been way before your interest.
I remember it being a story, but like I don't think the impact hit me. I was just like, okay, I don't care. Move on to RPGs and things I care about.
Yeah, so Vince Zampella and Jason West formed Infinity Ward, who would go on to make Call of Duty Modern Warfare, specifically the big game there. And then I believe they were talking with other companies. Activision found out and then just like barred their access to everything. They were just locked out of the office.
Stupid.
But Vince Zampella, he leaves, forms Respawn Entertainment, makes Titanfall, which is low key one of the best shooter franchises out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're not alone. People are still clamoring for Titanfall 3.
Yeah, it's one of the other threes out there that everyone's clamoring
But no, you
for.
get High Guard instead, so have fun.
Yeah. But yeah, it goes there, makes Titanfall, finds tremendous success with specifically Apex Legends. I don't know if currently still is, but at one point it was one of the pillars of the free-to-play market, with Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone. Apex Legend was like number 3 or whatever in that kind of genre. And then, I don't know how much involvement he had in like the Jedi franchise, but obviously his success got him even higher positions in Electronic Arts to where he was seeing over more and more, took over Battlefield. And what's the best-selling game this year so far? Battlefield 6. Like that, what a career, He was only 55, and I saw on the internet a lot of outpouring from like Hideo Kojima, Bruce Straley, a lot of industry veterans that had, certain ties with them. Kojima said some really nice things, like he met with Vince after all of his things with Konami because they were so similar, and he said Vince was there and gave him some really great advice. And
it's actually an interesting little story. Yeah, I mean both ousted unceremoniously, both legends, both went on to find a studio that had found an immense amount of success after the fact. Yeah. So we're talking about the man, Kojima, and Zampella in the same sentence should kind of tell you, if you're unfamiliar with this guy, where he stands.
Right. I wish I could find his post about it, but yeah, I mean, that body of work is incredible. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's absolutely, you're right, Nick. It's it's definitely proper to celebrate his life, the amount of joy and things that he's brought to people throughout his career. It's something that I won't be able to touch in my life. I mean, Nick and I do this little show to try and bring a little bit of joy into some households. Apparently, it only happens in Oceania, but we're trying. And it's incredibly sad. He had 3 children. He left behind an ex-wife. I have 3 children myself, so I can only imagine how hard that is for everybody involved. But I would be remiss if I didn't also just mention how easily avoidable this whole thing was. And I think if you go online, if you're this type of person, there are videos of the crash online. I was actually scrolling Reddit yesterday, just my normal feed, and I think a lot of people subscribe to the catastrophic failure subreddit. Sometimes, it's funny. Sometimes it's stuff like this. And it just said like Ferrari crash in California. And I was like, holy shit, that's it. That's the one. And I'm watching this video and I'm just like, damn it, Vince, why are you being such a moron in this moment? And please, anybody listening, don't take this away that I'm like thinking he deserved this or I'm happy this happened. It's not that at all. It's just I see that and I just go, God damn it, man, you have 3 kids. You're just showing off with all your money and your toys, and I get it. Most of us are grinding away day in, day out to be able to get to the point in life that we have the things like he has, right? He's got a brand new Ferrari. He wants to probably show off his buddy. He wants to, drive fast. I get it. But like, you're going through a tunnel, going probably well over 100 miles an hour. I've driven on canyon roads before like he was on. There's gravel. There's shit all over the place. You don't know what's on the other side of that tunnel. And it's just so sad and so unfortunate that, this isn't like a Kobe Bryant scenario, right? Where they're just like in a helicopter and something happens and it's completely tragic. It's like he was the one behind the wheel. And I just urge anybody out there, who likes to kind of, I'm a thrill seeker, haha. It's like, yeah, cool, I get it, but take a quick second. Real quick story. I grew up in a pretty affluent area. I had a lot of friends who got nice cars when they turned 16, and I had one buddy who got a Pontiac GTO when he turned 16, and it was a dope car. And what he wanted to show me was he's like, look how fast I can drive this thing. And I remember he drove me down a residential street, which was with a speed limit of 25, and he took that thing up to 130. And I remember at the end of that 130 whatever, he hit a little bump. And we were probably at that. He was decelerating, but he was probably going about 100. And he did the thing where, and he grabbed his wheel and shook the car a little bit, and like immediately braked after that. He's like, that was crazy. And I think about that moment every once in a while because it's just that was so fucking stupid. At the end of the day, nothing's getting. This doesn't benefit anybody. It's just a quick little us guys, we love to show off. And
yeah, it's a tale as old as time. I didn't grow up in an affluent neighborhood, and people did stupid things with cars. Yeah. You're young, right? Like you do things like that, especially with fast cars. Like how many kids in high school get stupid tickets for drag racing and speeding? Mm-hmm. And this is the dangerous outcome of that. And I know hindsight's 20/20 when you're young and dumb. Yeah, and you can look back, but Vince wasn't. And
that's kind of like where I land on this is like. You're 55. You're obviously an incredibly smart individual. You're great at making decisions. You've gotten to the top of the mountain, and it's just like how quickly one momentary lapse of judgment can end all of it. And or even thinking about when I was in Colorado and I fell off a kayak in the Colorado River, and my mind immediately went to my kids. I'm like, I can't die. This is crazy. Like, what am I doing? And like, I don't want to be around water anymore just because of that. So, incredibly sad, shocking story. When you sent me that, I was like, it felt like a April Fool's joke in a way. But rest in peace, Vince. And he's got a legacy. I mean, that's kind of a little silver lining, I guess, if you were to try and find one, is that the man made an impact. And
Call of Duty changed the course of video games forever.
And media
forever.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to deny the impact of that franchise, even as it's not as what it once was. It's just, every game has multiplayer like Call of Duty does.
Yeah.
That is the blueprint to make a very satisfying, very addictive multiplayer. And he was head of the studio that did it. So
yeah, it will be interesting to see ramifications of this. Like I honestly didn't even think of the Saudis buying EA thing. And how they got to go. Oh God, no! What? Does that? Not saying they can even legally back out or anything at this point. I don't think they would.
And he is one guy.
Exactly.
But it'll be
interesting if all of a sudden
he never missed. Right. Even Titanfall 1, which I would say is it was an interesting game. Multiplayer only, multiplayer shooter with a price tag. We roll our eyes at that now, right? With Marathon and other games. But, that game was really, really good. And, to have success over multiple studios, I think that's what we were talking about last week with Casey Hudson. Cool, you were at the peak with BioWare, but can you do it again from scratch? And Vince was able to do it. Kojima was able to do it. Not a lot of people can say that to that level of success, too.
Right.
But... yeah, I'm sure we'll hear more about this and more people coming out.
I who was the passenger? Anybody in the video game industry? I would imagine if they were a public figure, it probably would have known. We would know by now. They still haven't released who that was. So maybe just a personal friend. And
yeah, I mean, it's it's the week of Christmas. I mean, I'm sure this was just a casual thing. You know, it wasn't any like.
Yeah, and it's a 2026 Ferrari. I'm sure he just got it. He's like, I want to go show it off.
Right.
I get it. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
All right. We can move on to the John show if you're ready, John.
Yeah, I have really, really good baseline going. I feel really positive right now.
All right. So this is how the John show works.
I mean, it's kind of on brand, though, honestly.
Yeah, it is. We can both bring up the three things to talk about: a video game, a topic, a news item. But also we like to hear from you, the listener. Our email address is betweenthejoysticks@gmail.com. Our Twitter account is @joystickspod. Follow there for updates on the show. And finally, we have a YouTube page, Between the Joysticks. Comment on any of our videos there, and you'll be read on the show. So let's get into the mystery topic. John does not know about it, but it is just a series of questions for John to answer.
Oh, I'm getting grilled.
From the top of from the top of his head. There's no pressure here, man.
Okay.
But it is the holidays, so they're going to be nice and then naughty questions.
34
nice.
Ds.
Oh, really? Okay. Cross that one off.
All right.
All right. So, John, are you ready? Again, no pressure.
Yes.
I don't want you to pass out under the pressure of this. So,
what if the internet judges me on my answers? What do I do?
I don't know. What do you do?
Yeah, nothing.
All right. First, nice question. What is a gaming blind spot you wish you could get
Great question. Great first question. I'm so glad you asked. I mean, it's got to be meaty open world games, specifically Rockstar games.
Right.
It's got to be. What? Was that a leading question? Did you know my answer? No. Yeah. I mean,
I have a couple in my head. I knew that would be one of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big one. Watching the world over the past couple of years, just yourself included, just lose their mind over every GTA 6 little nugget that comes out. I wish I could get there with you guys. I just, I still have Red Dead 2 wanting to play it, and I just don't know if it'll ever happen. I can see myself starting it again and understanding the things about this that people like, but just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's those. I wish I liked Cyberpunk more. I wish I liked Red Dead more, Grand Theft Auto.
That kind of stuff. Definitely the open world where there's a lot of dynamic things that could happen, and the game encourages you to do them. That's not as structured.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be your turn off, and you're just like, I can't wander the wilderness and hunt random animals in Red Dead. That's a waste of time.
Maybe 50-year-old John gets into the when the kids are gone and I just I'm staring at that empty house and just what. I need some bros that I can go on a.
I need Arthur Morgan and his crew.
I need Dutch Van.
Yeah, you're getting there.
I got Van Delay stuck in my head.
Vanderlyn.
I know that's from Seinfeld. So, okay.
All right. Our first naughty question. All right. You primarily game on PlayStation, preferred platform.
Yeah.
But if you could steal a studio and its franchise from Microsoft. I know all their games are coming to PlayStation anyway.
Okay.
But is there a studio and its accompanying franchises that you would take from them?
I'm just getting a quick Xbox Wikipedia pulled up just to make sure I don't forget.
Some good candidates. You got Playground Games. You got Arcane Leon.
Coalition Double Fine. Double Fine's pretty awesome, but I don't think they're them. Obsidian's is one.
Obsidian's a good answer too.
I think I'm taking Playground and Forza Horizon. I think they would fit a very nice little niche. I mean, it's actually kind of a stupid thing to say with Gran Turismo being a thing.
But yeah, side thought. Did you see how many people play Gran Turismo regularly? That was a post on Reddit. I
know it's the number one franchise in PlayStation history by far.
Right. The numbers are insane of how many people that boot that game up and play it regularly. Like it's not what you would think.
Yeah. I mean, it fits a very specific niche, but the little bit of time I played Forza Horizon on Xbox, it was just a ton of fun.
2 million.
2 million in
every month play that game.
Wow. I mean, yeah, and it kind of makes sense. If you're a person that likes to, get a wheel or something, you're probably going to be pretty invested into that series. But yeah, and Playground just seems like their top developer, to be honest. Like, just in terms of like quality after quality after quality, they're very, very good.
Man, if they land with Fable, then I am with you. That would be
and
big.
if that happens, then we go, oh, you guys are multifaceted and multi-talent. You don't have to just stick
Right.
with one thing. So
Right.
Playground seems like a good choice. And then I guess I would take the Horizon series specifically. I don't care about Halo and Gears all that much. That's the other pillar. And then you got small things that would be cool, but I think I'd go Playground with Forza Horizon.
All right. What about Capcom?
What about him?
Who would you steal from Capcom?
What franchise?
Yeah, studio's a little harder with Capcom and some of these ones because they don't really have a
I don't.
defined studio. Yeah.
Which one am I? Am I an executive or a person?
You're just a person. We're just interviewing you.
Okay.
Isn't like you're not looking at this as like a fight how financially well this will do.
Okay. I want Resident Evil. That's what I want.
Okay. Wow. Yes, that was easy. What about Electronic Arts?
Man, that would have been 10 years ago. It's the easiest question ever with BioWare. I mean, it's probably Respawn. I mean, Respawn has shown that they can be one of the top shooters in the world, and then they can do the thing that Sony really likes to do with third-person action adventure open world games with the Star Wars stuff. So yeah, I'm taking Respawn. I think BioWare would have been the obvious answer a minute ago, but not anymore.
Right, 10 years ago.
Yeah, so Respawn.
Okay. What about Warner Brothers? They're about to be sold.
I mean, you got NetherRealm, you got Monolith,
Telltale.
TT.
Yeah. You got no Monolith is gone.
Monolith is gone. Oh, wait.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to take NetherRealm.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
PlayStation would love them.
I would. I mean, yeah, dude. Like, I'm not a fighting guy. I was at one point, but like, if there was something that could potentially get me to do it, like a NetherRealm quality PlayStation fighter would be sweet.
Okay.
Like, if you can fight as Ellie, if you can fight, obviously, PlayStation Battle All-Star.
Yeah, I was going to say,
cast,
bring back PlayStation.
But you have so many more characters to choose from nowadays, and if you had that team doing it at a top level, that'd be really, really cool.
I never played that game, PlayStation All-Stars.
I played it, I think, at a Best Buy demo thing.
Okay.
And I mean, everybody knows why that game was stupid. The idea that you can't KO somebody without a special move is just stupid.
Oh, really? That's
it. Yeah, you have to build. The only way you can get somebody off a screen is with a special move, and it's
sure.
Bad game decision.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Our next nice question.
Okay.
What game announcement would you deem a Christmas miracle if it was to be announced on Christmas Day? For you. Again, this is always for you.
Mm-hmm. Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2 is number one, probably.
About Badgerborn.
Badgerborn. Yeah, I mean, it's because like Nier Automata 2 is obviously pops in my head, but like I think that is just a very complete story, and I don't know how that would look if you went back to that franchise specifically.
What do you think is more likely, a sequel to Nier Automata or Bloodborne?
Bloodborne. I that's so much money left on the table that I refuse to believe that Sony and From Software don't know what they have with that. Like, especially after the success of Elden Ring. Like, you come out with Bloodborne 2 and, shit, man, you could even potentially open worldize that too. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But in a realistic answer, a release date for Hades 2 on PlayStation. Shadow drop on Christmas Day.
No, we're talking about Christmas miracles, okay?
I know.
Okay.
I know. Sorry.
All right.
My Christmas spirit's a little low, I guess.
We're on to our next naughty question. What video game character would you want to meet under the mistletoe?
Oh, well. I know you're like, you're going to say 2B for sure, but probably not.
Ooh, I got him kind of stumped here. That's good. There's a lot of video game characters to choose from.
I'm thinking like, okay, like at one point, Final Fantasy X, like Yuna for sure, but she's so adorable. She's like the winner of the marry, fuck, kill that game. She's the marry answer to like everything. But
yeah, this is a tough one. Again, if for listeners, mistletoe is this tradition where you have it hanging over a door. It's a plant, and if you meet someone under it, you're supposed to kiss them, right? It's a stupid tradition, but it's great for this because obviously it stumped John. This is the hardest question he's ever had.
I mean, I have a couple in my head. I got Tifa, Lara Croft, and Eve from Stellar Blade. I think I might go Eve from Stellar Blade. Ooh, Yennefer.
Yeah.
Siri. I'm a horn dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going.
There's no shortage of attractive
Eve.
video game characters.
I'm going Eve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Side question? Do you think
Katana? That's a gnarly one.
All right. A little side question: is Eve the protagonist of the next Stellar Blade?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I think because they could go different character, another hot female, but I think you just surround her with other hot females. Probably. she's gained a fandom.
That's true.
I think you stick with her.
Okay. All right.
Quiet. That's a good answer.
Yes, these are all very, very, very horny answers because these are all ridiculously attractive people.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah. What are you taking? We're taking Under the Mistletoe. The cat from Stray. Some little doggy.
A little kiss the doggy.
I'm taking Neva. We're gonna cuddle.
Hey,
it wouldn't be bad.
That dog's huge.
It wouldn't be bad.
It'd be, laying on a cloud.
Was Neva the big one or the small one?
Aren't they both? They just it's young and then gets to be the big
Oh yeah,
one.
that's right. Yeah, it's young. Yeah, and then it grows and it's huge. Yeah, you're right. I should go play that game again. It's like 2 hours.
Okay. All right. Are you good?
Yeah, I think so.
Your answer is Eve.
Yes, that's my answer.
All right. Our next question, a nice question. You get one collectible, price removed, of one character. Who are you getting?
Kratos.
Oh, Kratos. I know you say when we've talked about collectibles before, you want like the axe or the blades of chaos.
The Leviathan axe.
You're big on collectibles for weapons.
Yeah, I've never been there's some action figure guys at work and that has never been me. I've never had the imagination of playing with toys. So action figures don't really do it for me. But I'm picturing a kitted out, really high detailed Kratos with his weapons and armor and stuff, and how cool that could look. Because I thought the knight from Hollow Knight, but he's just a little white blob kind of at the end of the day.
There you go. This one's $1,900.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It'd be
comes with all the weapons from the game from Ragnarok.
There's probably some really cool answers of mounts or just
sweet.
like the Colossi from Shadows of the Colossus. You could probably find some really cool stuff like that. But I'm just got protagonists stuck in my head, and I'm probably Kratos. He's an icon.
Yeah, no, and he makes a sweet statue for sure.
Yep.
Okay. All right, and then our final naughty question: what video game franchise would you kill immediately if you could? And this is a loaded question.
Yeah. Grand
you could go
Theft Auto.
Because you could go to, I know you Roblox would be a big one.
Roblox would do the greatest amount of good in the world.
Right.
So that's probably the responsible thing to do. Pokemon is something.
Wow. There's an answer.
Not kill the IP, but kill the games. Because the cards are still great, but the games just suck.
Yeah.
Call of Duty's another one that we can still make great shooters. We don't need Call of Duty, everybody.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
It's hard because it's not a game is offensive to you particularly.
No.
You're not oh my god.
I'm trying. There probably have been some though that make me do that. I'm trying to think of what they are. I'm just gonna say Pokemon games because there could be so much more. They could be so much more.
Yeah. Every time I watch a video of those games, I cannot believe that. I mean, it is what it is. You're stuck if you're a fan of Pokemon. It's Stockholm syndrome, right? You're just
100%. Well,
this is what it is.
I still think opening packs is fun. That's fun and it's cool, and I get it. It's just yeah, this is the most money-making IP of all time, and we can't get better-looking games than what we have, and it's stupid. So
I agree.
Great. Game Freak can die. Pokemon's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it.
Good
that's
questions.
all of my questions.
Good questions.
Well, thank you. All right. We can move on to our next topic, which is John's gaming update.
Sure.
John, you have done a lot of work.
Yeah, let's get some.
You've touched on a lot of games.
I guess we can get the little bit of fluff out of the way because I got a lot to say about one and not a lot about others. But yeah, I mean, I've purchased and started Shinobi, Art of Vengeance.
What do you think so far?
It's beautiful.
How far are you?
I mean, I haven't like 100%ed any of the little levels by any means
yeah.
But like I don't know, I'm probably on the 3rd level, and
You did the one where you're riding the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did the dog thing.
That's just fun.
But like I think I will admit, like I'm at the point like when I go back to it, I'm just restarting again. I'm just gonna restart again just to like again. I want to be flush with the combat and stuff, but just dabbled a little bit just to check it out. Yeah, and it's great. It's great. I just want to not start because if I start going more, I'm stopping Claire, and that's not gonna happen. I'm doing it. So I've dabbled in that. That will definitely be a game that I will probably get to. I would imagine that's a January game. Okay. Once I can get
it
through.
won't take you long once you are into it.
Yeah.
That's like a good week.
I know. It's one that like what's about the platinum? You have to beat it in a twice and under a certain time limit.
Yeah, you have to beat the game in a certain time limit,
So-
and then you have to get a rank, like the highest rank on every level, which means you can't get hit.
You can't get hit.
Yeah.
I was wondering how that like is evaluated. It's like, okay, is it more like you just have to make sure you 100% and
yeah. It's
yeah,
not great.
I'll have to really like just playing it.
Right,
to do
right,
that. So
right.
we'll
Yeah.
see. So yeah, I dabbled with that. I'm still playing Claire. I am in Serene. So just based on a little quick walkthrough that I looked at, I'm not at the end. I mean, I know there's an Act 3, but I feel like I'm kind of funneling my way towards the big reveals and stuff. I still have no idea what's going on.
No. You won't until Act 3.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, I mean, I just got a little more context on Alicia, who is basically the cover art girl with the weird face and the mask looking stuff. So just kind of got a little more with her, but still, game is great. And
are you feeling, because again, this game is compared to Final Fantasy a lot. Do you feel as a Final Fantasy X unilover over here? Are you feeling? Does it give you the vibes of Final Fantasy X? I know that's a hard thing to recreate.
It's a really hard thing.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, but
yeah, I think we're in a land of. If I had played Final Fantasy X as a 36-year-old person for the first time, it would not hit me like it did.
Okay.
So no, it's not. Like I absolutely understand the similarities, the reasons that people are comparing it to that. You have this tight group of characters. You're going on this journey together. It's pretty heavy stuff. Turn-based stuff. Combat, all that good stuff. But no, I'm not passing judgments on it or anything yet because I know like a lot of times when you start to love characters, you got to get to the heavy hitting stuff to really kind of understand what their struggles are as characters. But like I'm having a hard time like really. Like I was really invested with Titus and Yuna and all they were doing, and again that's why I think it was just at a certain point in my life, right? Like I was 13, I never really experienced the hero's journey type tales besides like Star Wars and stuff like that, or deal with heavy themes like afterlife and how we grieve and mourn losses and stuff like that. And both games have that stuff a lot. I have yet to really be like behind a Gustav or a Lune, or Mael's probably the closest. You can tell she's got the most pain and the most trauma, and like she seems to be like the whole reason for everything that's kind of happening. But I haven't.
Okay,
I've found,
yeah, you're perceptive.
I've found myself, just kind of like not yet really being that invested with what happens with these guys. Like Verso, you're Ben Starr, you're great, but so we'll see.
Oh, you love Ben Starr.
I do love Ben Starr.
That was established last episode.
Yes.
He's the one you want to. That was the true answer for the mistletoe question, was Ben Starr.
If anybody has played, damn it. If anybody has played Balatro, look up the Ben Starr Balatro calendar. It's awesome. It's so
Yeah,
great.
you need to get that.
It's sold out right now. Otherwise, I probably would because it's only $19. And then real quick, I just want to mention my son has finally gotten into Fortnite. which I knew was going to happen at some point.
Yes.
Little bastard got 5 chicken dinners yesterday or 2 days ago, which is like I kind of expected him to not get there eventually, but I was watching him play, and he can scope out some people. So,
You've created a monster.
I know. On one hand, I'm like, oh, good job, little guy, and I go, you shouldn't be that good at this right now. So
I failed as a father.
Yeah. And we've started having a lot of father-son Rocket League sessions. I've famously played a lot of Rocket League. Haven't played in a long time. Kind of canceled out my 2v2 with my buddy Brian, who lives in Colorado. I don't have time for it anymore. But Levi's gotten good, and so it's created this like my son asks me to play with Brian, and my friend Brian texted me. Let's see, last night at 8:52, he said, "What's Levi up to?" ? So that's starting, and it's a lot of fun. Like we're having fun with it, so that's cool. But the big game, the reason we're here today, the thumbnail of the show, if you will, is it's finally time to talk about 1000xRESIST.
And I'm excited for you to explain this game. I started it. I played about an hour, but I'm excited. I need to know more.
Sure.
This game is very weird.
I gotta take off my coat. Sorry, I'm gonna get all hot and bothered. All right, so 1000xRESIST. It's a 2024 release from Sunset Visitor. It was recently released on PS5 here in November, and it's a game that immediately caught my eye because I am a score-based person and ranking things and all that stuff, and it had a 90 on OpenCritic. So obviously, what's this artsy-looking narrative thing? And you start looking at reviews, and IGN says things like, it's a revolution in storytelling and one of the most profound things I've ever experienced. So that's usually enough to get me in the door, especially when it's like, oh, it's $20. Let's see what this is about. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. And on the surface, I can absolutely see how people would boot this up and not really kind of get the reception that it's getting or understand why it has this reputation. In fact, I was reading a little article about this game was on Game Pass. And it has very bad reviews on Xbox, where people are booting it up pretty quickly and going what the fuck is this shitty, and turn it off. And I get that. This is a game that demands a little bit from you, that kind of is expecting you to see the whole thing through, because it, like any good story, any narrative, especially a narrative that spans as much time as this does, I'll get into that here in a second, it drip feeds, and it almost is intentionally confusing at the top, but the way that it threads all the needles and kind of reaches the culmination of it all while taking these different themes together, it's really, really expertly done. The world building can seem convoluted. It's simple gameplay, right? You are literally, it's kind of like a third-person walking sim is really what it is, or an adventure game, right? You're not doing anything really besides talking to different characters, exploring dialogue options. There's little bits here and there where you kind of can lock on to different areas and hold left trigger and you'll fly towards it. There's weird dream sequences and stuff, right? So it's going to defy the laws of physics and logic and stuff like that. But despite its flaws, it has established itself as one of the most impactful video game stories I've ever played. And this is a personal thing for me. It's the type of experience it's the type of story you can only experience in this medium. It's a very video game type story, right? You can't really watch a movie. Maybe you could watch a long form television show or miniseries that's kind of exploring all these different themes, where it can spend the time to see where different choices lead. But again, the way that it all wraps up, I think, is very, very well done. And just to give a little bit of backstory on what the game is, sorry, I'm going to be a little more long-winded on this one because, you can tell I'm kind of into it. But just a basic backstory of what this premise is the society has fallen. It's your typical disease infects everybody in the world except this, our main hero, Iris in this case. The disease itself is kind of wild because it just causes people to leak all their water through their eyes, which is just an interesting, it's just kind of, I like that. You don't really dive into what that is or anything more than just that's what it is, but I like that. And it seems like Iris is the only one that is immune. And so, through a series of flashbacks and time jumps and things, you start to slowly uncover, okay, how did all this happen? What were the next steps? Was humanity trying to be saved again, or did something else happen? And you slowly come to realize that in the future now, Iris is the only human. She's the only one left, her and basically thousands of clones. Lots and lots and lots of clones. And you play as one of them. You play as Watcher. Watcher is one of 6 main clones. I think there's a different word for them, but basically there's these 6 sisters, quote unquote. They're all called sisters, that have different functions in their society that they live in the future. Watcher, she's basically, as you would expect, she's in charge of seeing everything. Keeper kind of is the keeper of knowledge. Bang Bang Fire is like the military person, that would protect if something were to happen. Healer, fixer, you kind of get the whole thing. You play the game through 10 chapters, spending time with all of the characters, but doing something called communing with each of these sisters, where you will basically, because you are all offspring of Iris, you can go back and you can effectively relive some of those experiences. And I believe it's kind of sectioned off to different characters where you're going to learn little bits throughout as you spend time with each of these people. And it's going to be a little bit hard to talk about without spoiling it at all, but every single chapter is I enjoyed because they vary up the artistic styling of it a little bit. You're not changing up the gameplay, right? It's not like one chapter is a shooter, the next chapter is a platformer. It's none of that. But the way that it's presented, it's so artistic. And it sounds a little snooty, but it's very artistic, and the lighting might be different, or this one's kind of a top-down look as Iris is walking through her house, right? Again, this is a multi-generational story. You're going to spend time with her parents before the world has fallen and see what their relationship was like. You're going to spend time even before you were born, kind of seeing how your parents met in these Hong Kong. There's a lot of real things that happen in the world that are in this game as well. I think the developers are from China. And so they kind of rope in some realistic things too to kind of, I think, get people more, bought into the world. But, the reason that this game hits is it's so, I think anybody can look at this character Iris and see her flaws and understand the decisions that she makes, but also understand the other side of it too. I think that's kind of the word of this game is flaws. Every character is just flawed enough to make them seem realistic and understandable, whether they have anger or anxiety or fear or whatever the case may be. And you can always empathize with that character, and you can also empathize with what's happening on the other end. And as you start to see this tragic story that kind of happens over the course of these 10 chapters, I found myself initially felt like I don't really want to boot this up. And by the time I got to chapter 4 or 5, I was very eager to see what was going to happen next, which anybody who understands the type of gamer I think listeners of the show know. Nick definitely knows that means something when the main gameplay is just, I have to talk to the next character. I have to talk to the next character. It's the main reason why Mass Effect, I think it didn't latch on to me so much, because I never wanted to be back on the ship talking to people. And maybe again, it might just been the wrong headspace. But I was eager to uncover every single tendril that this world had, to see why every sister had different feelings towards Iris, right? Watcher has different feelings towards Iris based on what her function is and the things she sees. Bang Bang Fire has different feelings, and you start to through your communions, and you start to understand how everybody feels, and you start to realize how they're all the same, but they're all different. It's just a really beautifully done story.
All right, I'm gonna slip in here if I can.
Yeah.
All right. So I started this game, and it's everything that you mentioned. It's a walking simulator, lots of talking. What was driving you? Because I have an answer for this, and but I want to hear from you first. John is our gameplay guy.
Yeah.
You your favorite games of all time, all gameplay. I don't even know what story game would fit into some of your greatest games of all time, especially currently.
Last of Us and God of War is about as hard as you probably get.
But the opening of this is so, let's just say, it's interesting. Like you said, there's a lot of seeds there, and you're there is a central mystery. What happened? What's going on? But as you're playing this, and unless there's a giant gameplay reveal that comes later, I mean, the game is very simple, very talky. What is it about this game that kept you going forward, especially in these early moments? Is it because in your mind you're people reviewed this game very well, so the story's going to be, I know the story's going places. It's going to be really, really good.
Yeah. I'll admit 100%. That's yeah. Like,
Okay.
I am one of those. You know, like a lot of times my movie watch list, and I understand that people might think this is a crazy way to live. That's just the way my brain's wired, folks. I'm sorry, but like, you know, if there's a large enough quantity of people that say like this is one of the cooler things I've ever experienced or whatever, like that's enough for me typically. Now, it's not the only reason. I think a large part of it is that I did just get through Ghost of Yotei. Like, you know, I got through a game that I typically maybe get through one of those a year, and so I was feeling very like I want to just like I want that 8 to 10 hour thing. I'm good with just kind of absorbing for a second. And I also think that this game it fits a certain archetype of a person, whether you're going to really like it or if you're going to just be like that was fine. And that's why I'm really interested if you ever do get through it. I'm not going to. You don't have to if you don't want to, because I think we are different in this way where it's like I find myself typically drawn towards like art house movies. I even have a little thing where it's like, play this game if you think you appreciate art house films. Like if you're the type of person that can watch The Seventh Seal, right, a 1955 Swedish movie that a lot of people hold in one of the highest regards possible, and you can appreciate some of the things that it was doing, I think this game could be for you. And that's not just saying just The Seventh Seal. It's like those type of movies. Mm-hmm. But if you're the type of person that's like, I don't like that stuff, it's like, what's the best movie you've seen? Shawshank Redemption or The Godfather, or there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, I go towards oddball things typically, right? I want a type of story I've never seen before or experienced. And the way that this was put together and presented did have a very unique feel to it, and I like those, and I just intrinsically gravitate towards dire, dreary stories. And this is not a happy story, right? Like this is kind of one that, you know, there's heavy themes. There's,
that's apparent right from the start.
Yeah, you know, you got to read into certain things. You might not get all the answers you're looking for. You might need to watch a YouTube video after it. But like, I often find that those are the experiences, the ones that I have to keep thinking about, that really do leave a level of impact where it's like, you know, I don't have to defend my love for God of War here, but this is how my brain works, Nick. Like, I can't tell you anything about Ragnarok. I can't tell you like any of that story because like while I'm playing it and I'm enjoying it and the moments are great, you know, we're shooting the bow across the sky and the dogs are going, it's like, and I lied. I can tell you the end of the story, right? With you know, you can go a Trey Stacy.
I think there's some certain moments.
Loki goes
you
a Trey
would
Stacy.
remember the whole Fenrir fight and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like, see, and it even takes me a second to defend your fight.
Wow,
it's the big dog fight.
It was like our best boss fight.
I know, but this is how. But like,
yeah, I know.
So I get
saying.
through a thing like Nier Automata, and there's just I don't know. I don't have the right word for it. It's a mixture of sci-fi, heady, dreary, depressing stuff like that. Sometimes it all coalesces.
No, I agree with you. Like, I mean, God of War's big moments could be Spider-Man 2's big moments, or any big action game moments. You've been there 100 times. You know, you mentioned Stellar Blade and Eve. You know, when she's in space shooting that giant laser cannon. That's a sweet ass moment. But yeah, it's not. It's just a sweet moment. There's nothing more to it. You're not like sitting down and pondering like, oh, how did she shoot that giant laser in space and that thing's eye? It's like games that, like, I don't know, make you think, make you question things, you know, existential.
I'm a very introspective person, for better and for worse. I'm constantly reevaluating the decisions I make. I'm constantly wondering if I'm doing the right thing. Is there a better way to live my life? Is there something I could be using my time for better? And so so like there's a reason I don't like, you know, Fast and the Furious and Transformers and stuff like that, because I go into those and I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. Like, why am I here? And like, so to get a human, like to get this story that seemingly is sci-fi through and through, and it is, you know, it spans thousands of years, you know, society has fallen, but like at the end of the day, what we're talking about, what we're truly trying to evaluate is the human experience. And like this girl, this very flawed girl, who you start the game and everybody is just like, you know, she's a godlike figure. She's the All-Mother, right? She is being worshipped, and then you slowly go through the next 10 hours and you start to see these moments where you're like, oh, you're not that, right? And
I mean, even within the first hour, the whole thing, I think her name's Zhao.
with Zhao,
is pretty heavy and definitely does not paint your character or the character you're a clone of in a good light at all.
right? But that's what's kind of cool through these communions, right? Is like that knowledge of who Iris was as a person is not known to everybody, right? It's separated from the experience that it seems like Iris kind of wanted all her clones to have, right? Like I don't know if there's a reason for it, but like she doesn't, like she's living hundreds of years, so like, you know, she's reached godhood status, she's, you know, a mythical figure, and like, you know, halfway through the game there's another big time jump, and you start to kind of just like, again, understand how everybody feels and start to draw your own conclusions and stuff, and I think it's just a special game that is not going to be for everybody.
Can I say why I think you like the game?
Yes.
I think you have a type.
Because she looks like 2B?
In some ways, not. I didn't get that vibe.
Okay.
But it is the way that she acts and talks. It's kind of silent, moody, very pragmatic, you know, like very, just, you know, almost like they have like almost like a slight form of autism where there's just no humor. It's just always direct. And I think you really like women like that. When you think of the other game you recommended, like this 13 Sentinels, same thing. You love Nier Automata 2B. You just mentioned you want Eve under the tree. She is the same type of character.
Kind of like Ellie too.
And it's funny, they all have similar companions, and in this game you have a little robot, and I don't really know much about him, but he's called Secretary, and he has like a little boy's voice.
I like his voice.
But he reminds me of all the side characters of all those games I just mentioned who had very similar characters. And I was, I was playing the beginning, and I'm like, why does John like this? This is like not a John game, but he recommended it. Like, and then I thinking about it, I was like, well, it's because it reviewed well. He knows there's the carrot on the end of the stick is there's something that's going to happen that he wants to see. But when I was playing, I'm like, this is 2B. Like, I'm playing as 2B. The way she talks, the way she has that little companion friend with her all the time, floating around. I was like, oh my god, it's so similar.
It's incredibly near. Yeah.
Like even in Nier, when you're on like that space station, it's very similar to like how this opening of the game is, where you just you talk to people and they're just spouting random things. You're confused as fuck. You're like, what is going on? But it has that same vibe.
Hecky Almo. You're like, Hecky Almo. What the fuck does that mean?
I was like, oh man, yeah. John has a video game protagonist, and this is it.
Yeah.
He likes this kind of
there's
woman in his life.
There's a joke, and guys, this is my sense of humor, so please don't think that I'm like, oh man, we need to help John. There's a joke amongst people that know me really well where it's like, I don't like happy things. I don't like positive, joyful things. Like I don't.
We made that joke on the show.
Yeah, I gravitate towards the other side of it. And so you're absolutely right. It's one of those things that I probably can't put into words how I do feel about these people, but yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But
they're strong and powerful. There's a lot to like about these protagonists. Don't get me wrong. I don't think like they're weird in any way. They're
for sure
very powerful, very interesting characters with an interesting view on the world. That's interesting to explore in all those games I mentioned. But yeah, they seem very. They're all the same kind of type,
right?
And it's very popular. 2B's in a popular character. A lot of games like with these kind of characters exist, not just the ones we're mentioning right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But yeah, I mean, so I would love to keep talking about it, but I probably already spoiled a couple little things for people who might want to play it. So I'm going to stop here. But I do want to at least say, like, I do think the voice acting is phenomenal. Which I was reading, like, these are all first time voice actors. So like that is something. There's a lot of different heavy moments and like quiet moments and things, and even like I said, even Secretary, he's just a little. It sounds like a little boy talking, but there's something about his voice. I was like, it just fits this really well for me. But. There's an area of the game called the Orchard where you do a couple chapters on. It's basically like your hub world, that place sucks to navigate around, and then when you're just doing a game where you just have to talk to people and you see a thing on a map and you're like, that's the person, but you can't fucking get to them. There's like one staircase that just leads into this area.
Right.
It's like, dude, you guys could have done that a little better. So it's not perfect. It's a game that I'm going to give a 9 to. I want to give it a 10, but I don't think, I think that, between the navigational stuff, maybe, even... So it ran a little poorly at times. There were maybe some stutters and stuff. That doesn't typically knock it down. I feel like giving it a 10 would be disingenuous to who I am as a gamer, But I think it is the type of thing that, like, I got the platinum in this. I can see myself doing a very rare replay in 7 years when I'm just like, I just want to revisit this real quick.
So you beat the game and you told me you might go back and get the platinum, and then you, like an asshole, you went back and did it for your 60th platinum.
Yes.
What made you go back?
I found a video that made it not seem so bad. Because, like, this game is not very popular, so there's, like, not a lot of walkthroughs.
Right.
Not a lot of, like, quick things to look at and go. And there's like 4 trophies that are like talk to every single talkable character.
I'm not a fan of that already. Trying to get in the first one.
It's not great. Yeah, and the first one's the worst one. So
good.
Yeah, just if you do want to platinum it, like that's
I did get it.
The school area,
I did
right?
get it. Yeah.
So that one sucked. Everything else is a lot easier, especially once you get to the orchard area. You can hold L1, and then like you get this little compass that appears on the top, and it shows you the people you haven't talked to yet.
Oh, okay.
So like that's nice, but again, with the navigational thing, you're like, I know you're there, but I can't fucking get to you. It gets really frustrating. But I found a video that it was like a 2-hour video. I think there was a random weekend day where I couldn't go game, but I had to watch my daughter, so I just busted out the portal and just like X through all the dialogue just to like get to who I needed to just to get it.
Sure.
Because I'm that kind of person. But yeah, for $20, guys, like, I mean, this is going to be a game that's definitely going to be on my top games of the year list. I'm sure there's a little bit of it here that, I am a snooty person, and I'm like, well, I like snooty things and snooty movies, therefore it's a 9. And and I think people who like a more direct storyline, who don't like things left up to interpretation, who might like
this is reviewing very well. That's why it's on your radar. So I don't think you sound like you're like, I'm the only one champion this game. Yeah, it's at a 90. I mean,
it's at a 90. Yeah, it's
IGN gave it a 9. So this is.
It's not very approachable to normies.
Yeah,
and I imagine people that listen to this podcast aren't normies. So,
and even myself, that opening is confusing as all be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I mean, it's an indie game. I mean, that should be said here. True as can be. And I know the indie game line has been blurred when you have Hades 2 and Silksong and Expedition 33 releasing this year. But this is like a true indie game. It's rough and on some of the edges, but again, it seems like the core concept, the core story really resonate with people, and it's worth getting through.
Yeah. I hate it when people be like, oh yeah, you watch this show, but just get through the first season. The first season's crap, but then but like it gets good. It's like, I hate saying that, but it is one where it's like the game comes into its own upon the full picture being presented.
Right.
And it's, so I would say if this intrigues you and you want to give it a shot, if you struggle through the first chapter, keep going. There's a big moment after chapter 5, I believe, where you at that point you'd be like, if you're not feeling it at that point, there's no reason to continue. But no,
I think it's doing a good job of laying out breadcrumbs. I think it's what we've talked about, the navigation, where to go, some of the mechanics, like you mentioned, the part where you float to these orbs or sigils everywhere, like a dream sequence to like recover memories. Yeah, it's all very confusing because the game is just not hand-holding you.
Yeah.
It basically gives you a simple mechanic of going forward or backward in time in the beginning, and it's like,
oh yeah, I did kind of forget how confusing that was for me in the beginning. I'm like, where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be in the future, the past? I don't know. But it does keep you going.
And as a seasoned game player, it's like, oh, this area is blocked off in the future. I go in the past. I can get in past it, go back to the future, and then I'm in the area I want to be. So it's not bad. I think again, it's reviewing very well. If you keep that in the back of your mind, I think and it's not long. You said 10 hours.
Yeah, I think let me see how long to beat. I think it's 10 to 12. But
yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, 1,000 times.
And it's also, you know, I don't think you mentioned the price.
11.
$20 game. It's not
$20.
it's not there's not a big commitment here for this game. And
Yeah, I mean, just looking at OpenCritic right now, 1000xRESIST is probably the best narrative experience I've had in a video game ever. 1000xRESIST is one of those special games from a team of individuals laser focused on creating their masterpiece. Its story is meaningful, gripping, and heartful. This is a work of art you absolutely need to play. So you're right. Like, I see things like this and I go, okay, well, I just won't get a pizza tonight. I'll just play a game instead. You know,
Right.
$20 is $20. You know,
Cool.
1000xRESIST is genuinely perfect for what it is. I cannot demand, but I very strongly suggest to play it. So,
all right.
Hecky Grace, all mother.
Yeah, and again, I am playing this, so it will not be the last time we talk about on this show. So
Yeah.
I plan on seeing it through to the end. So, wow, yeah, a story game recommendation from John.
Mm-hmm.
Like-
Don't pass it up, folks. Put it on your wish list at the very least. It'll be on sale or something.
Yeah, we're in the alternate universe here. But I think we talked about it for a while. So yeah, John is passionate about this one.
I actually took time to make notes and stuff. You know, that's how much I care.
Have you made notes while you're playing yet? That's my one thing I always go, I should have wrote it down.
I usually start, like, I have a little tab on my phone for Claire Obscur of just different notes and things I want to say. But like, here, I'm pulling up. This is a visual thing, guys. So that's sorry, but yeah, that's all I got. Okay, it's like 4 sentences. Some great moments.
Perfect mini map game.
Right, like there needs to be a fucking mini map. Idiots. So easy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we do. No, we don't do biggest disappointment. The biggest disappointment of this year, more mini maps.
It probably would. I mean, for me,
Add more mini maps.
Yeah, it probably would be, man.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost, Claire, and now this are candidates for sure.
Yeah, come on, it's easy. Make it an option if you want. If you want people to be more immersed, cool. Make it an option.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
If you're good, I'm good.
Merry Christmas, bitch.
Thanks. Happy holidays. All right. So that's it for the show. As we mentioned at the start of the show, the next episode's the big one.
It's a big one.
We talk about the game of the year, the PS Plus wrap-ups. How did we think of this year in general?
What did
It'll
Nick
all
get?
be decided.
What did Nick get under his Christmas tree?
Nothing gaming related. I guarantee you that.
Womp womp. Adulthood.
Yep. Well, womp womp.
Hey,
I buy all the games I want immediately.
I know.
So,
God, though. But don't you just miss being that kid, though, on Christmas morning? You're like, I got Ratchet and Clank, and I got the thing, and I got Devil May Cry 2. Not Devil May Cry 2. And I got, but yeah, that was good stuff.
yes.
I miss those days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever
having the free time, right? You just go right downstairs and play all day.
Yeah. Did you ever discover where your parents hide presents?
No, I didn't.
I did. And so I always knew what games I was getting. Couldn't help myself.
Well, yeah, once you know,
Yeah.
how could you not?
Yeah.
But so that'll be a packed episode next week. Again, please write in with your PS Plus wrap up and your Game of the Year winners between the joysticks at gmail.com.
Save me, Jesse. Jesse, you're my only hope.
The beat is hours beat
Yeah.
or hours played. All right, that's it for the show. We love you. We thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy the holiday. If you got some cool gaming stuff under your tree, we'd love to hear about it. But other than that, we'll be back next week with our Game of the Year discussion. See you then. Bye-bye.
Ho, ho, ho.
And that's it for the John Show.
Meh.